Hello everyone, this is Necrostevo and you're watching my 23rd and 24th narrated Wi-Fi battles. Now here are two battles that I had with one of my awesome Twitter followers. Her name is Indexu, LP, underscores in between there. I actually refer to her as Indexer per an interesting conversation that we had one day. But anyways, let's get started. The first battle we had was a short one. It was a flat single battle that we had. We were both just testing out some Pokemon, but it was kind of interesting, so I decided to include it here. I go straight for the Will-O-Wisp off of this Rotom. This is a max HP, max defense, bold Rotom. And he actually functions pretty well. I never got to use him on my Heart Gold Soul Silver, but here I'm kind of testing out to see how well he can take hits and things like that. She went for the Earthquake, maybe expecting me to switch there, because the other Pokemon on the team preview would have been weak to the Earthquake, even though she didn't know which three I actually brought. I went for the Discharge there, hoping for the Paralysis, because I kind of expected her to switch. And, you know, even if she didn't switch, Discharge was kind of my better move to hit that Metagross with Stab. It was better than the Shadow Ball or the Leaf Storm that I had. I should really switch Shadow Ball out since it's no longer really usable. Anyways, though, the Poison Jab does poison right there. The Ice attack may have been better if she had it, but not really sure. But since I am Plant type now because of Rotom's new type changing Infinite Generation, that is super effective, and she is able to poison me while I take her out with the Leaf Storm. That poison is going to negate my leftovers gain for a little while. And here she brings out the Event Raikou that I traded her a little while ago. And she actually changed up its moves, so I wasn't sure what it was going to do. She goes for the Shadow Ball. I don't have any specially defensive-based EVs on this Rotom, but it is max HP, so I do take it since that's an unstabbed Shadow Ball. And I went for the Discharge again, kind of fishing for the Paralysis. I didn't want to switch anything on Raikou, knowing that it can have a bunch of different attacks, especially from the event, and just in general, Raikou has a pretty decent move pool. And it can do a lot of things, whether it's Sub-Calm Mind, or Scarf, or Specs, or anything. But here, she shows that she did leave the Extreme Speed on it, which works nicely with that Rash nature. It allows it to run a mix set. That was a useless crit there. She's able to take me out. I don't really know why she needed to use Extreme Speed, but that was just for safekeeping, I guess. You always want to switch up moves when you're going to take out your opponent anyway. So here I go out into my Regal the Arcanine, and he's actually pretty bulky, almost max HP EVs. But here's a repeat of the crit scenario, because she gets the crit and takes me right out here. I guess the Intimidate was nice to lower the power of that Extreme Speed, but otherwise he didn't get to do anything in that battle. And the last thing I have left is my Scarfed Primate. Primate was one of my favorite Pokemon to Scarf because of his great move pool and his nice speed. I am able to outspeed and hit that Raikou with the Earthquake. And it's appropriate to use Earthquake here because I know that her last Pokemon is that Metagross. The Metagross is burned, so I was fairly certain that I could take a Zen Headbutt if she had it. I may not have been able to, damage calculations show that I had about a 5% chance of living the Zen Headbutt, but she just goes for the Earthquake there. I don't know if that means that she didn't have the Zen Headbutt or if she, maybe like me, was afraid of missing it and she just went for the Earthquake. I'm surprised at how well Primate takes that Earthquake, and here you see how much a Stab Bullet Punch does. So maybe she should have gone for a Bullet Punch twice, hoping for the crit instead of going for the Earthquake, as I do outspeed. But I'm able to finish her off with that second Earthquake there. So that was a great game, Indexer. We have a second one coming up directly after this one, so stay tuned. Alright, and here we are with the second battle that I had against Index off my Twitter. And this was a 6v6 regular standard battle. We took this one, I think, a little bit more seriously since we weren't testing things out. Here you'll get to see where I make a ton of mistakes in the battle, and we'll get to answer the question, is it better to be lucky or good? So I start off with my Magic Bound Xatu, it's nicknamed Ambiatu because Xatu can see in the past and the future at the same time. So that's always good. She goes straight for the Night Slash with Zangoose. You don't see very many of them, but they actually have a pretty decent move pool. Here I go for the Reflect. I'm not sure what she wanted to do, but I did know from the team preview that her team was pretty evenly split, physical and specially based. So I went for the Reflect there, kind of to soften the blow from that Xatu. And here, expecting another Night Slash, I go into my Metagross. But she goes for the Rock Slide, switching things up. So, that's always good. Like I said before, be sure to switch up. She gets a crit through the Reflect there. Doesn't matter because I resist it. It may have mattered if she had gotten that Night Slash off. That may have been bad, or even the close combat. Here she brings out her Salamence. I did expect that switch in, and instead of trying to set up with the agility, I went straight for the Zen Headbutt. Salamence is quite threatening, and I wasn't really sure because Salamence can run a bunch of different sets, which she wanted to do. But you see there that I do over half with that Zen Headbutt, which is awesome. That means if she switches it back in, I can do that again. Expecting the fire attack, I go out to Kingler, suck up that flamethrower. Kingler actually has a great defense stat, but his special defense is awful. So even resisting that, I don't take it very well. I could have gone for the rock slide. This is a Choice Scarf Kingler, but I was afraid I'd miss, so I went for return. But since I leveled this Kingler up to 100 by trading it over to a different version, leveling it up and trading it back, the happiness value got reset. So that return did nothing, and she wipes out my poor Kingler with a Draco Meteor. That was mistake number 1 in this battle. Knowing that I still had the Reflect up and she had a special attack drop, I bring in my Clefable Maple to set up some Calm Minds and hopefully sweep through a few of her Pokemon. Even though she had a lowered special attack stat, that Draco Meteor still did a fair bit of damage. This is a max HP, max defense Clefable that uses Calm Mind along with Wish to stay healthy. The Magic Guard allows it to avoid all that entry hazards and toxic damage, so it normally is able to stick around for a while. Here she gets the defense drop. You can see how little that did, which is the defense, she only had a 10% chance there, but I didn't really want to leave Salamence around because I knew she might switch it out eventually since I didn't have entry hazards up, so I just take it out right there, showing her that I did have the Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt and Ice Beam has great coverage, the combo often known as Bolt Beam. Here, I knew she'd probably go for the close combat, and I have the Chople Berry and the Reflect is up, so even though I lost a little bit of defense to that defense drop there, I probably should have gone straight for the attack right there because she had a special defense drop. I went for the Wish, and I make another mistake here and I don't notice that the Reflect wears off because I miscounted the turns. I thought I had one more turn left. Could have easily switched into Xatu there to take that close combat, but unfortunate, not paying attention is unfortunate, and she's able to take down Maple. Index actually gave me the nickname for this Clefable, so it is a pure coincidence that she just wipes it out there. So here, knowing that she can switch up moves, but nothing really can touch my Smart Girl, I switch out, and this time I do go for the agility because I know after an agility I'll be able to outspeed her entire team. I was expecting her to switch in that Chandelure, and I have the Earthquake for it, but I wanted to make sure after I killed it, I could outspeed other things. Here I go for the Earthquake, and 9 times out of the 10 times that I've used this Earthquake, it has killed Chandelure, and I thought that was a Focus Sash, but it isn't. She just barely lives. I went for the Wide Lens instead of the normal Life Orb on this Metagross, and I normally have a packing because I miss Meteor Mash and Zen Headbutt way too often for my liking, but right there, that really bites me in the butt, and she kills me with the Flamethrower. So here I bring out my Golem, or Eyes, and a lot of people don't know what to do when they see Golem, but Golem is one of my favorite Pokemon. I don't know if you all recall the episode where Ash's Charmander went up against one, but not many people know that it can learn Sucker Punch from 4th Gen, so I'm able to take out the Chandelure with the Sucker Punch. And I still have my Sturdy intact, which is great because against things like this Melodic, which actually Trader Index that Melodic, no matter how hard it hits me, unless it has Mold Breaker or a secondary effect like Burn or Poison, I'm going to live. And so that means I'm able to go for the Ground Gym boosted Earthquake, which, even though Melodic has great bulk and great defense and special defense, that's going to hurt a lot. Golem has great attack and physical defense. So I'm able to take out that Melodic. That's 2 Pokemon down from this Golem. So Golem is putting in a little bit of work here. He's not even supposed to be a sweeper, but he's doing a great job. She brings out the Espeon. I just went for the Say Sucker Punch because at this point I really thought I had lost the battle because I knew that she still had Pokemon left that could outspeed me, but I was really surprised that killed that Espeon. I know Espeon is frail, but Sucker Punch is not stabbed. So here she brings out Haxorus, and I make another error. This is error number 3 or 4 in this battle, and I thought she might expect the Sucker Punch and might try to set up on me with Dragon Dance, so I went for another Earthquake. If I had gone for the Sucker Punch right there, I'm going to tell you right now, I would have won this battle. I bring back out my Xatu. I wasn't sure what she wanted to do, so I just went for the Reflect, thinking that max HP, I maybe be able to live something from that HP. And she switches back out to Zangoose, obviously, so that she could hit me with a Night Slash, which Based on the damage that I took earlier, even with the Reflect Up, I'm not going to live it, because that did 75% of my HP cleanly. The Reflect's going to cut that in half, and I don't live it. No crit needed. Zangoose is doing a great job kind of cleaning up here. But my last Pokemon is my Bouffalante Widowmaker, and I have the Reflect Up. She has the close combat, which is great for her, but with that Reflect Up, it's not even going to do half, which is great. I went for the safe head charge there because I was tempted to go for Earthquake after that defense drop, but since she outspeeds me, it was too risky to go for that. So I just went straight for it, take the recoil damage, but I am able to take out that Zangoose. So our last Pokemon is Haxorus, and after the recoil, I get a little bit back from the leftovers here. And Haxorus really, with the Reflect Up, unless she's carrying the Brick Break on that Haxorus, she's not going to be able to hurt me, because you saw how much that close combat did. And she goes for the Dragon Claw. Watch how little this does. This is a max HP, max attack Bouffalante, and that doesn't really do anything with the Reflect Up. I go for the head charge, hoping to one-hit KO her, and the HP is going down, 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 and it stops. And if I had done the Sucker Punch earlier with my Golem, that would have killed her. Unfortunately, it does not. And hoping, obviously fishing for the flinch, she goes for the Rock Slide right there, and she gets it. Very unlikely, but she made some good plays, and she had some good luck this battle. So those two up against me at one time, no good. Even at 75 HP, I'm not able to live that second Dragon Claw. Very unfortunate, but that was still a great match. Thank you, Index Sir, for the battles. I know you're a girl, but Index Sir is what I will continue calling you. If you all will like the battle, and please subscribe if you enjoyed. I hope to bring you more content this week. Thank you all. Bye-bye.